The book of Daniel, part 8. In verse 25, Daniel was brought in. Daniel was brought in a haste because things were going out of hand. There was no special entry ceremony given to Daniel as he was entering. He entered as an ordinary man, but he left as a mighty man, even more mightier than the ones that brought him in. There is a seed of greatness in you. Believe this, and you will save yourself from unnecessary anxiety. Daniel was not afraid to appear before the king because he had already appeared before the Lord. The presence of men cannot be mighty enough to scare a man that is not a stranger to the presence of God. If the presence of men can make you fear, then that can be a sign that you have not journeyed far in God. It can be a sign that the presence of God is strange to you. Because if you are familiar with the presence of God, then the presence of men will not make you run. Fear is a sign that your preparation is not enough. Anytime you want to do something and you notice fear, it can be a sign that you are not prepared enough. The news of an exam date can make a student that is not reading panic. Look at the way Daniel was introduced to the king. The man said, I have found a man of the captives of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The phrase of the captive of Judah was enough to make Daniel get angry, but he didn't allow that to move him. You may be surprised to know that your generation don't know you. If they know you, if they know what God has kept in you, they will honor you. The proof that they don't know you is that they can't see what the Lord have deposited into your life. If your generation claims not to see what the Lord has kept in you, show them. How you show them your content is through your manifestation. Until we manifest the will of God as sons of God, the world won't know, the stuff we are made of. What a poor introduction. Yet Daniel was not moved, at least for the fact that he is the only one bold enough to go to the king in such a critical moment. That bold step should be celebrated. It is just like someone saying, I have found a boy from a village in Niger, or I have found a boy who is one of the failures. He claims to have the solution to our problems. Can you see that kind of introduction? If you are sure of what you have in you, then the wrong picture people have of you won't move you. You may be powerful and yet be introduced as one of the weakest vessels available. Be encouraged. If you take the right step, things will work in the right way. Your generation is a confused generation. This generation is a confused generation. They will call you by the name of the Lord and yet expect you to do the works of the devil. They will call you by the name of the Lord and yet they will expect you to do the works of the devil. Imagine someone in an exam hall saying, Pastor, please, what is the answer to question number 3? You know he's a pastor and you are still asking him question in the exam hall. Do you expect him to cheat? So we are in a generation that they will call you by the name of the Lord, yet they expect you to do the works of the devil. This is the kind of generation we are currently living in. In verse 26, then the king said, Art thou able to make known unto me the interpretation of the dream, which I have seen? The question shows that even the king doubted Daniel's ability. Anytime you see people, ask them if, anytime you see people asking if you can do something or if you are able to do something, don't let their doubts affect you. they are launching an attack on your ability. Anytime you see people doubt your abilities, they are trying to attack your confidence. Doubting one's ability is the same as attacking the person's confidence. In verse 27, Daniel then answered the king, What can now? In verse 27, Daniel then answered the king. What can you see from there? Your talking manners is very important too. It's very important. The way you talk is very important. If your approach is wrong, you are wrong. Many of us lack certain talking ethics. Daniel waited for the king to talk before responding. He didn't cut him short because because he has solution. No, he waited for the king to talk before talking. You may be surprised that even with the solutions in your hands, you will land in prison if your approach is wrong. Having the key is not enough. You must also have good presentations. No matter how good an idea may be, if you don't present it well, it may be taken for a trash. Imagine you are speaking to your father in the Lord and you say, please, sir, please, sir, don't lie to me. That's wrong. They may not tell you, but you need to watch your tongue. Do you mean he is a liar, or do you mean he has a tendency of lying? If you know he can lie to you, then why did you come to him? Cutting people short while they are still talking is a sign of disrespect, no matter how burning the matter may be in your heart. If you honor them, then you will wait for them to finish their statements. This is how many of us speak to our parents, just because we feel we are more educated than them. How foolish are you? Have you forgotten that it is the same uneducated parent that sponsored your education? Even if they are not the one, they deserve your respect. I hear this in my spirit. The Lord said, you need to make a confession to some people. And what you are going to tell them is this, at least 5. Go to them and say, don't claim to be wise. Wisdom knows her children. Don't claim to be wise. Wisdom knows her children. Someone will hear that from you, meditate on it, and in the process, that person will be liberated from ignorance. In verse 27, you could naturally feel how bold Daniel was while he was speaking with the king. It is a calamity to have good offers. It is a calamity to give good offers to people who do not even believe in themselves. It is a calamity to give good offers to people who do not believe they have good things to offer, who do not even believe they have anything good they can offer. Precious offers are wasted by those who do not know they have anything to offer. In verse 28, Daniel did not start by talking about himself or his skills. He started by acknowledging his God. Now listen, I hear this in my spirit. I hear the Lord say, the God you don't praise cannot raise you. Can you see that? The God you don't praise cannot raise you. So praising comes before raising. If you praise him, he will raise you. Because the God you don't praise cannot raise you. This is the wisdom of God concerning